Well, guys, welcome back to Emirates Sports and Reviews. And as you know, the Bafa season is coming to a close. And we start off with the playoff games in the quarterfinals in Division 1. Now, these actually might be the best quarterfinal games, even though these teams have played twice already in the regular season. Reasoning behind it is because Bafa thought, obviously, with the price charges, everything hiking up, it'd be better to play teams in your conference again for the third time instead of playing the other division in the quarterfinals and then playing the semi-finals if it happens to be that same team. So instead, you're playing your teams back to back. Well, playing them 3 times in a season. So obviously, we're going to start off with the divisions up north, and we're going to start off with Division 1 NFC North. I think I got that right. We got the Pirates versus the Vikings. Now, the East Kilbride Pirates versus Northumberland Vikings. They both had 2 good, very, very good seasons. The Pirates had scored 331 points in the year and only conceded 84 points. And the Vikings scored 342 points and only conceded 97. Now, in their both matchups that they played in the regular season, the Pirates won the first game 17-14, and the Vikings won the other game 24-7. So this final third game in the quarterfinals could actually see the Vikings win this game outright. Now, my prediction for this game, I don't know much about the North, unfortunately, but my prediction for this game, going off of their history, the second looked like the second game was very, very tight. It was a 3-point game, so it could be very, very drastic. I could see it coming down to a touchdown, and I'm wavering towards the Vikings on winning this game. To be honest, I'm going off of history, and I'm going off of the scores and the conceded. It's going to be a tight game. It will be a tight game, and it could come down to one mistake from a player that loses the game for everybody. So I hope that doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm giving it to the Vikings in Division 1 quarterfinals. That's what I'm going with that one. And then we have the Division 1 South. We have the Falcons versus the Romans. Now, to be fair, the Vikings are 10-0. I don't really see them losing this game, especially as they already beaten the Romans twice, 49-34 and 23-13. So, in all hindsights, it favors the Vikings to win this game. It should be no questions. The Vikings should be able to come out of this game unscathed, and they will be potentially facing either the Pirates or the Vikings for that semi-final spot. Now, we come down to the South. NFC East and the NFC West. We're going to start off with the West. We have the Cheetahs versus the Knights. Now, I will be at this game. It is at Hertfordshire Cheetahs, so if you do want to show up and watch some football when the Premiership aren't playing, the Cheetahs versus the Knights will be played over in Watford. I'll drop the location in the description. But this game should be a very interesting one. Looking at both of the squads, in both of the games that they played against each other, the Cheetahs won the first game 25-12, and the Knights won the second game 25-13. So the only reason why this game is being played at the Hertfordshire Cheetahs ground is because the Hertfordshire Cheetahs scored 1 extra point. So that says a lot on how this game might actually end up going into this quarterfinals, because it's just looking really tight. Now, the issue with this game is that the Cheetahs don't really score enough points. Over the span of 10 games, the Cheetahs have only scored 193 points, but have conceded 112. Whereas the Rushmoor Knights, they've scored 295 points. They have basically scored 100 more points than the Cheetahs had all season, but they have also conceded 120. So this game could definitely be down to a defensive stance Now, can the Hertfordshire Cheetahs defense stop the Rushmoor Knights? Because at the moment, the Cheetahs offense is not as prolific as they should be coming into a playoff run. So we will see what happens on Sunday when we go into this game. It's going to be insane. Now, for the last game, we had again the repeat match of the Cambridge Cats versus my choice of the Cheetahs versus the Knights. It's a tough one, but I wouldn't mind, and I would like to see the Cheetahs win this game, potentially by a field goal, make it tight, make it something interesting to watch. Now, for the NFC East, Cambridge versus the Stallions. Cats versus the Stallions. This is going to be an interesting one. Now, in both matchups, they both took it 1-1. Cambridge won the first game 18-14, and the Stallions won the second game 21-15. Now, this one, the Stallions got into the playoffs by a crazy last 3 minutes in their game against the London Hornets. They were down by 7 points, and they came back to win the game 25-15. That is unheard of, and that must definitely give all their players a boost going into this game against Cambridge, because Cambridge are the #1 seed, and Stallions are looking to try and get into the Premiership for the first time in their franchise history. Now, if you have watched the highlight film from the Hornets Stallions game, you can see that it was very defensively, and the Stallions offense was not so prolific. They weren't great on the ball against the Hornets defense, but the defense of the Stallions did a lot of damage to the Hornets. Now, Cambridge have a very strong offense. They scored 358 points. Probably I'm going to put that as more because I didn't actually calculate the game against the London Blitz B team. But they've conceded 147, whereas the Stallions have scored only 189 and only conceded 97 points. So you can see where there's a bit of a big difference between either teams. Now, we don't know what's going to happen this game. This game is obviously going to be played in Cambridge. So as long as the Stallions travel well and they stick to their game plan, potentially what happened in the second game where they came out with the win, it could happen again. But I did hear that the Cambridge had injuries in that game, so we don't know what their injury situation is right now, and if they have all their players back, that could be a very tight, strong game. So in that hindsight, if Cambridge have all their players back, no injuries, I do see Cambridge probably coming out with the victory against the Stallions. But it could be I could be very wrong, but we don't know. But Cambridge, I'm giving you lot the win by a field goal. So my predictions for this weekend: we have Cambridge beating the Stallions, Falcons beating the Romans, Cheetahs beating the Knights, and the Vikings beating the Pirates. Now, that just makes up for a very interesting semi-finals, which would make the semi-finals will be the Falcons versus the Vikings, and then the Cheetahs versus Cambridge in the semi-finals games. But we don't know what's going to happen yet. So let me know in the comments if you don't disagree with my decisions on my choices of winners of this weekend, because this is going to be a hell of a game week. And then the semi-finals are next week, which I will be at the London Warriors versus the Tamworth Phoenix game. So hope you all guys have a great day. Hope you all stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.